Good morning, you guys. Good morning and welcome. Welcome back to the First Cup. I have been absent for a few days because I've been at work working hard. It is busy season at the t-shirt studio. And so I'm back. I'm back today with chapter 10 of The Friendship of Women, of which I have titled Cultivating the Company of Women. In this particular video, I have titled Cultivating the Company of Women, Marthas and Jezebels. Marthas and Jezebels. Dee titles this chapter Roses and Alligators. I like to call it Marthas and Jezebels. But what Dee does in this chapter is she talks about different types of women. And in particular, those that are roses and those that are alligators. And then she adds bits of wisdom from the Proverbs. And so today we are going to focus on those bits of wisdom that she shares from the Proverbs. But first, I'm going to have a sip of my first cup. This is the first cup. And I don't even know if it's hot anymore because it's set over there for a minute. Actually, it's piping hot. It is piping hot. So, it is Thursday, March 10th, and we are talking about chapter 10. And yes, I have read all the chapters in Dee's book. I've even read chapter 11. And it was my plan to talk about chapter 10 and 11 today. But I didn't want to talk about Marthas and Jezebels while I talked about Mary and Elizabeth. So in chapter 11, Dee focuses on Mary and Elizabeth. But in chapter 12, she focuses on the mentorship relationship. And in chapter 13, she focuses on Christ. So what we are going to potentially do, is we will end this study this week, as I've said before. And tomorrow we'll either focus on Mary and Elizabeth and mentorship, and then focus on Christ on Saturday, or we're going to do something. But we will start our new read on Saturday, which is, I have it right over here. Let me just grab it. On Saturday, we will be talking about this book literally. And it is 11 chapters of how to understand Bible general. How to understand different categories of the Bibles. Of the Bibles, not the Bibles, but of the Bible. So that is what we are going to begin on Saturday. And as you can see here, there are 11 chapters. So we will map this out and are planning everything out for this on Saturday. And we will begin this particular nonfiction paperback book in regards to the Bible. And Christy talks about the different categories in the Bible and how knowing them can help our study of the biblical text. So we will begin this study on Saturday. But for now, we're going with Dee to the book of Proverbs. And we're going to look at several Proverbs this morning. And because she speaks of those in regards to our learning how to manage our relationships with other women who may have the characteristics of Martha and or Jezebel. So, we're going to chapter 13 of the book of Proverbs right away, and we are going to read Proverbs 13:20. Proverbs 13:20. And it reads as follows. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Whoever walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Then next she shares Proverbs 14:30. Proverbs 14:30. We just simply turn the page to Proverbs 14:30. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. Now we are reading in the English Standard Version of the text. The English Standard Version of the biblical text. And that was Proverbs 14:30. Now we are moving on to, we're going to back up to Proverbs 12:15 and 16. 12:15 and 16. 12:15 reads, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. That is Proverbs 15. And Proverbs 16 is, the vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. The prudent ignores an insult. So, next we are moving to Proverbs 27, where D lingers in the final pages of chapter 10. Proverbs 27, we're going to start, she starts in 27:3. But you know me, we're just going to go ahead and start in Proverbs 27. I mean, why not? Why not? Proverbs 27:1 reads as follows. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Don't boast about tomorrow because you don't know what a day will bring. That's Proverbs 27:1. Proverbs 27:2 is, let another praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. Well, that's something we don't do in 2022. And, to be honest, some of us may never gain any praise if we had to wait for a stranger to praise us. So, because some of us, as she talks about, some of us people are just jealous of us and they don't understand our spirit. And, yeah, I'll just leave that right there. Proverbs 27:3. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Now we're moving on to Proverbs 27:4. Wrath is cruel, anger is overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Who can stand before jealousy? Who can stand before jealousy? That's 27:4. Now, moving to 27:5. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. And finally, Proverbs 27:6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the kisses of the enemy. So there you have it. We've just read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've just read 8 scriptures that Dee shared in chapter 10 of the biblical text. That's her references for roses and alligators. And she does say also that although alligators, can eat you in one bite, that roses do have thorns. Roses do have thorns. And then in the end of the chapter, she beautifully transitions to the one and only Jesus, the Rose of Sharon. And she does this beautifully, I might add. And then in chapter 11, she focuses on Mary and Elizabeth and their relationship as expected mothers, and their relationship as women whose husbands have somewhat been silent for a period of time. And, that I think is beautiful. I have really enjoyed chapter 11 as well as chapter 10, and some of the advice that she does give in chapter 10 in regards to the various types of women that are in the world is point on advice, and one that we would be wise to take into consideration. But chapter 11, she talks all about Mary and Elizabeth being expectant, what happens prior to their expectancy with John and Jesus. And then she talks about their pregnancy and their life before and after is really what she kind of focuses on in chapter 11, the before and after of these two amazing, faithful women, one barren for years, one never having been married or expected. So the chapter 11 is a beautiful way for her to end this book. And I look forward to talking to you or to discussing or to letting you know my takeaways in regards to chapter 11 tomorrow. And we likely will talk about chapter 12, mentorship, as well. And thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for my first cup, whenever, however. And I joyfully look forward to talking about Mary and Elizabeth tomorrow. This is Sonia signing out for the first cup. Be blessed in the Lord on this very day. And in addition to that, have a great day. Thank you.